Well, I couldn't help but play that clip, right? It said, we have to put this clip in this interview. James, and this was at the Market Theatre. Yeah. Yeah. Wonderful evening that I spent there watching this.
Yeah, Songs of Migration. I really think Makhaola and I, we were so blessed as young directors to sit in a room for the whole day and work with Brayu and be able to concoct these narratives and infuse the music and learn from a master, you know, and which is something that I really believe sort of it's died a bit in this country to just for you know, the whole thing of an apprentice, you know, to just be, you know, there was so much that I learned. I mean, around Tate Moapelo's music, I knew some because I sang it in choirs, and I sit with Brayu, I realize it's an encyclopedia of it. So we made this piece with a lot of love, and it oozes as South Africanians, but it is a universal piece because every nation anywhere in the world has a migration song.
Yeah, and a wonderful soul, obviously, and with Sibongile Khumalo. One of the things that I'll remember about this play is that during the break, he actually came out and we had a couple of drinks, a drink on him before we went in for the second half of the show. So it carries wonderful memories. But now your work as artistic directors, you've got to decide what content you put on out there, right? And I want to believe that tastes and expectations of the theater goers are changing over time. And from your point of view, Makhaola, what have you seen happen in South Africa?
Well, I think there was a time where people wanted to tell kind of general national stories. And now I think the stories are more intimate. People are getting the courage to tell their own stories, which I think it's been great to see in that people are telling more and more everyday stories, whereas before it was they wanted to tell national and big issues. And the more we see that, I think is the richer that it becomes, because then we're really getting into who are we as different South Africans. Because as I say, as you know, somebody can be like Makhaola Ndebele and saying, yeah, so what is that? And so we're seeing more of that, and our job really as well is to say we're kind of encouraging producers, theater producers, to say let's make the work sustainable for ourselves. And so as we program, we look at unique content, and also we encourage sustainability.
But the challenge, I suppose, is the extent to which the stories resonate with theater goers. You find that on the basis of what you've just told me, that there are more and more personal stories being told, that these attract more people to the theater?
Yes, because especially because that's where you find out the deeper, the more specific you become, the more universal you become. Because at the end of the day, we all know what jealousy, fear, anger, we all have those emotions together as a people. So if you're investing in that, you're attracting more people, rather than if you're investing in a general thing from, you know, trying to be general, then it really misses.
But now, James, I mean, especially in your space of the Market Theatre, which in the past developed a reputation as where the best of protest theatre was being staged, have you, with the changes that are happening and have happened, seen the numbers come down, or people are still coming for the very same reason that Makhaola is talking about? Yeah,
I'm definitely going to echo what Makhaola just said, because I think the braver you get as a curator, you lead your audience to a different palette. Because when I arrived at the market, I also realized there was a lot of nostalgia about content at the market. And I said to my team, we have to be brave. We have to try different things. I mean, in September, I'm directing a play from Uganda called Rolling Stone at the market. And, you know, I've directed a Wallace Shoyinka with that had Silomake, Waruna Siane, Khunsi, Lisedi Job speak Yoruba. And you know, I did a piece from Mali, and I just feel being a curator at the theater is almost like being an executive chef at a restaurant, where you give people what they're used to, and the next thing there's that little brain.
What a way of describing it.
A brain with parsnip and petty pans, and people try it and they get used to it. Because when you are dabbling in nostalgia, the theater never ever grows. And audiences, as we know, Pratim, they're very fickle, and so with all that bravery, the one thing I keep talking about is excellence. We've got to put work on stage, on our stages that make people want to come back. And for me, I'm such a stickler for excellence. And yes, it creates animosities in the industry. People come and pitch their works, and you start getting an idea where you can look at a work and think this is not going to sell. You know, and people go according to whose standards, and you go according to the standards of our patrons.
Yes.
And because we want to maintain the numbers that we have and grow them, but you can only grow them if you are very brave and try new.
But you also face challenges, right? You, notwithstanding their passion, the challenges of competition from other forms of media, television in particular, so many channels to choose from.
Yes.
Is that a challenge to yourselves? And more South African movies are being made, which is great, it's wonderful.
Well, I always say it this way, is that you know, television comes to your house fine, it comes into your living room, you're sitting there, but nothing beats a live performance. You know it in music, you know it in theater. If you've experienced seeing a performer in front of you and it's live and it's in that moment, and you can never repeat that moment. You can come back the next day, it won't be exactly the same. And to have been present and experienced that thing at that time is what makes theater unique.
But you carry the memory, as I said. I'll never forget what happened just once, one night that I went to see.
And you're still talking about it today. So it's like that. Whereas with recorded things, it's in the can, it goes, but you don't, there's not that intimacy and that connection that you have.
And the immediacy.
The immediacy of live performance.
Something that is in the now.
Let me introduce something that may be a bit negative, but it has to be spoken about, right? The corporate sector does not support the arts to the extent that I believe it should. I'm not sure if you're experiencing the same thing. I mean, sport attracts all kinds of money all the time, but we don't see enough of support coming to the arts, specifically theatre.
And when we talk about, you know, partly when we talk about things like transformation, is partly what we're talking about. We have to transform the minds of the people with the cash.
Yes.
Is that they haven't seen the opportunity yet, and we go around trying to raise funds all the time, and it's changing the mindset so that they see the opportunity and the immense opportunity that theatre and the different type of arts can do to unite the country. And so I think once we're on a journey. I think theatre is experiencing a renaissance of sorts. But the business people, those that are clever about it, will see that opportunity before the rest.
Well, I asked Dr. Ali Bacher earlier on the question about sport, that what is the thing, the essence of it? If you are an aspiring artist, or you have been an artist throughout your life, with all the frustrations that go with the work, what is the key attribute that you need to develop, James?
I think we focus a lot on passion. And passion I love. I'm a very passionate person, but passion also needs to work with the business acumen, needs to work with the clarity of ideas and stories that you want to tell. And I go back to what I was saying earlier about bravery. We've just produced, I found a play in when I was overseas, and I brought it here. We've just produced the first lesbian play in the history of the market theatre. It brought so many audiences, and people who have never been to the market, who might come from that community, or have a sister from that community, or a colleague, or a neighbor. But they were brought to the market by the fact that, you know, this play had Pamela Nomvete and Natasha Sutherland, and both of them playing these characters. And another challenge for us also is to be able to speak to companies and present
James,
the right
I'm interrupting you. Makhaola, I'm giving the last word to you. What do you say to an artist who's seen it all and says, you know what, I'm just about to give up? How do you keep going? Very briefly.
I say stay curious and be aware. And yeah, don't stress. Just take it a day at a time, a moment at a time, and keep going.
Well, when the bills keep coming in, you know, a moment at a time is a bit hard, but I suppose it goes...
Well, we've lived before the time of bills, and we'll be alive after the time.
Even beyond, right? So what's coming up? Market Theatre, just one play?
I'm busy directing Ngcobo now, by Athol Fugard, and it's starring Vusignene, Zikona Sodlaga, and Peter Mashaba.
Where's Albert?
Where's Albert is coming, Sarafina is coming to the Joburg Theatre. And we have the Soweto first inaugural Soweto International Jazz Festival.
Excellent, excellent. James, pleasure to have you here. And Makhaola, thanks very much, gentlemen, for allowing me to spend such a lovely evening with yourselves.
No,
I
thank you
appreciate
so
it.
much.
And thank you very much. And
And
thank you for allowing us into your homes and for joining my network. Let's do it again tomorrow night at 6. I will be talking to lawyers this time, Advocate Dumisa Ntsebeza and Advocate Dalimpofu. They will be sitting right here on the couch. So take care and good night to you.